Hey everyone, I just wanted to, come on YouTube and my other video that I posted was mostly about, what ayahuasca or what pharmawaska does to you. This is my experience I had with pharmawaska. It's because what I did was I ingested Acacia Confusa. I made it myself with and I also took a Maui, obviously. The Maui that I took was Syrian rue. I had been experimenting with Syrian rue before Pharmawaska. I wanted to try, heavier dose and higher dose and see what would happen. And I found out, Syrian rue by itself, from taking 10 plus grams, crushing it obviously, gives you a slight psychedelic buzz. After experimenting with a rue, when you do 10 plus grams, it really, it's unreal feeling. You get it takes a while to kick in. It took me like around, I guess, an hour for it to really kick in. But after that hour, it was, like your body was basically dying. It was an unbelievable feeling, and my whole body would be vibrating. I would close my eyes, and it would just be like, slight color, nothing even close to DMT, but it was something worth trying, and it's an amazing substance, and it's a healer all in itself. I'm guessing that's why it's sacred in Syria. Anyways, the Pharmakia, get back to that. I ingested the Syrian rue first, and I waited around 30 minutes or 40 minutes, and after that, then I ingested the Acacia Confusa brew. It's not ayahuasca, obviously, because Mimosa hostilis and Capri vine are true ayahuasca plants to use, but this is a Pharmakia, so I used Mimosa hostilis. I used Acacia Confusa, which has a very high DMT content, and I did it with my cousin, so I did 2 doses. So we took the rue, and then we took the Acacia Confusa. Now the rue, what it does, it's basically an antidepressant, and obviously a Maui. It's a monoamino oxidine inhibitor, and basically that allows the DMT to go to your brain. So, it's an antidepressant also. I mean, it makes you extremely happy, and nothing can get you down when you're on that. It's unbelievable how strong it is. And we took it, and we were just really happy, obviously, after like 30 minutes of taking it. And then it was time for the Acacia Confusa brew. So we drank that. After 15 minutes of drinking the Acacia Confusa, I'd say we took around 12 grams, not 12 grams, we took around 9 or so grams each of the Acacia Confusa brew. And after 15 minutes, first thing that happened to me was, my cousin, first thing that happened to him was he just started laying down, and he started, laughing. And what happened to me after, he started doing that was, I would look outside, because we did this in a room. It wasn't a proper, setup, to do DMT or ayahuasca, whatever, to, really appreciate it. We're going to be doing it outside next time. But anyways, we we're into it, and he's laughing. I'm standing up and looking at the cup which I was just drinking the ayahuasca from, and it looked as if I was looking up from the earth, all the way in the sky, and looking down at the cup. And I was just like, whoa. I put it down, and I told him, I was like, I can't believe what's happening. And I was the one only standing up right now. My cousin was on the bed. He couldn't even move, but I was actually standing up, and I was walking around, and my hand, I would just move my hand through the air, because the air was alive to me, and I would ask my cousin, do you see this? Like, it's unbelievable, the air is like vibrating, and I would see all these these little dots and such, and I would just move my hand, wave it around, and after that, I just suddenly hit the floor, and I was, in another world. Basically, my eyes were closed shut. I had a humongous pressure on the back of my head, and as my eyes were shutting, I would see, all these patterns and geometric shapes. The only way to describe it is just it's like it just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds. It's like cubes on top of cubes on top of cubes on top of shapes you can't even imagine. It's just so many types of shapes, in colors, or it's just beaming towards you, and there's like so much wealth of information buzzing through you, and your whole body is vibrating. Your head is just, it's pounding with information, and you get a really your body just feels really numb, sort of, I guess you could say. Um, but the colors were unreal. And at that time, I lay down by my cousin, who was, laughing hysterically. And because of his laughter, I started laughing, and it just felt good, both of us laughing. We laughed for like probably 2 minutes straight of just pure laughing. And then what happens is you go in and out of consciousness, basically. You go to another plane, another realm, and you come back you come back really quickly, and you're like, whoa, I'm back here. Oh my God, and then right after you say that, you're back again, and your body is, not your body, but you're transported, obviously, to that realm, and then the colors start again, and the patterns, and then the information these beings are trying to share with you is coming through, and they're showing you thousands and thousands of years of information that you can't even, understand, can't even fathom it. And my cousin was telling me that he was, he felt like he was in the presence of a woman, sort of guiding him. And that's when my guide told me that I was the one, and that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And every time he would ask a question, they just wouldn't answer it. It would just be, we're in control. You listen to us. And that's when I just got up. I went to the bathroom. I sat Indian style there, and I was just meditating, and I was just picturing, something, and they would, they would talk to me about it, and then they would show me all these these things again, blasting just images in your head, the pyramids and patterns and sacred geometry. I mean, it was insane. The colors were beautiful. And at that time, they told me, okay, your cousin's gonna come in here and he's gonna vomit. And I was like, no way, he's not gonna come in and do that. And a split second later, he came in and just vomited all over the toilet. And they told me, now it's your turn. And I said, I never vomited in my life. And I said, it's impossible. And right when I said that, he had finished. I went in the toilet and, basically bowing to the toilet, and I just vomited my guts out. And it felt so good. So good. Everything vomiting feels good, but it felt unbelievable. And, after we had vomited both, I told my cousin, I just vomited my guts out there. And he was just laughing again. And then we started with the laughing. We were just laughing our asses off for probably like another 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And it's just patterns and colors, man. It's unbelievable how much patterns and colors. I mean, you can't describe it, but the love that you feel towards you. And then, and then the wall that I had, in my room, I saw like a tiki head, basically, and it was like 3D, dimensional. And it was just, looking at me and talking to me, and everything just looks different. The room looks nothing the same. It just looks much more, just different. I mean, we just don't see it like that, while we're sober. This isn't real. I think that is reality. This is not reality, obviously, but it's unbelievable. And I mean, we were just gone for like hours and hours. I mean, you just can't keep up with it. That's it. Acacia Confusa is such an amazing teacher, healer, and it's such a high amount of DMT. And we came to realization that we're going to be doing this again. So after we woke up, I mean, you feel absolutely brand new when you wake up. It's a rebirth. There's nothing to it. It's a rebirth. And It shows you everything you've done bad to people, you know, and the good you've also done. But when you're shown the bad, you actually feel the emotions that those people feel or felt, sorry. But then, you're brought back to the love and happiness again. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.